In many different ways. I know that's what you're saying, or thinking, so I'll say it.
I didn't think that until he said it.
No, that's why I said it. Very. And she gets cold easy too.
That too.
Good morning. I would like to welcome you to this meeting of the Board of County Commissioners, as we call it to order. I invite up to the microphone this morning Ethan McClarity from the Evangelical Free Church for an invocation. Would you please rise for that and stay standing for the Pledge of Allegiance?
Father, Creator, we just thank you for the wisdom and grace you offer us. And this morning, all of us as leaders, we just accept that. Let our thoughts and our actions be full of wisdom and charity, and we will remember to give you the praise and glory in the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Can we have roll call, please?
Everybody else does.
Thank you.
Thank you. Our entire audience is now exiting. Thank you, Ethan. Let's turn to roll call, please.
Commissioner Bell,
Present.
Commissioner Payne,
Present.
Commissioner McFall,
Present.
County Attorney Jackson,
Present.
County Manager Bryant,
Present.
Planning and Zoning Director Koch.
Present.
We have the approval of today's agenda next. Are there any changes or additions to today's agenda?
Seeing none, Madam Chair, make a motion that we approve the agenda.
Second that.
It has been moved and seconded to approve today's agenda. Further discussion? Roll call.
Commissioner Payne,
Aye.
Commissioner McFall,
Aye.
Commissioner Bell,
Aye.
motion carries.
Up next is our consent agenda. As you may be aware, we normally announce scheduling public hearings at this time. I simply would like to let you know we are not scheduling a public hearing with today's consent agenda. Gentlemen?
With that, Madam Chair, I move to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded to approve today's consent agenda. Further discussion? Roll call.
Commissioner McFall,
Aye.
Commissioner Payne,
Aye.
Commissioner Bell,
Aye.
motion carries.
Up next, administrative and informational topics. We begin first with staff and elected officials. We will turn to Sunny Bryant, our county manager, for a county manager's report. Good morning, Sunny.
Good morning.
Morning.
So just a couple of items on the report. On Thursday, September 21st, I attended a monthly meeting at the Penrose Chamber of Commerce. And I don't know if everybody has heard, but the Wells Fargo Bank in Penrose is closing. So the chamber may be looking at trying to find a new location depending on who purchases that and what happens with that building. So that was something that is very unfortunate, but I do understand the business aspect of that. And so it's always good to get out there and see what all's going on in the Penrose community. Just a few updates on some projects that we're working on. We are neck deep in budget right now, so we have been meeting with the board and with departments, just trying to compile everything and get everything ready to have a draft ready to be submitted on October 16th. And then a few updates on some of the grants and stuff that we're working on. We have a historical fund grant that we are finishing up to help with the roof replacement for this building. And we have a FEMA grant that we're working on to get some help towards mitigation work out on the west end from the Hayden Pass fire. We're working on a couple of DOLA grant funds. One is for the courthouse renovation project that we're working on, and then one is for Tunnel Drive project. Unfortunately, one of the tunnels on Phantom Canyon Road, I'm sorry, not Tunnel Drive.
Not Tunnel
Sorry.
Drive.
One of the tunnels on Phantom Canyon Road is having some cracks and stuff, so we are going to be working on fixing that next year, and we're hoping to get some grant funds to help offset those costs. And then, as one of the other items that we have coming up is looking for options for the search and rescue building. So we have a lot of projects that we're doing. And then I just wanted to make a note that on October 21st, the Public Health Department is going to be offering a free mass flu vaccination clinic. And so if anybody is needing to get their flu vaccines, that is going to be happening from 9 to noon on October 21st. And that's all.
And that will be held at the Garden Park building,
Yes,
correct?
thank you.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Sunny. And we will turn back to Sunny as we're actually going to be doing a lot during today's meetings. It seems as she has many of our agenda items for the informational topics. So we'll turn next to Sunny for the sales and use tax report.
All right. So hopefully that's not why the crowd is very sparse today, is because I'm going to be talking most of the time on the
It's a
agenda.
Sunny Bryant meeting.
Okay, so the retail sales tax collections through the month of July. In July, we collected $441,805, which is up $29,356 from July of last year. Year to date, we are up $154,443. The auto use tax collections in the month of August, we collected $102,167, which is up $5,946 from August of last year. Year to date, we are up $34,206. The construction use tax, we collected $25,316, which is down $6,845, and year to date we are up $30,393. The lodging tax, in July we collected $5,243, which is down from last year by $9,000, but year to date we are up $4,536. And then in the sheriff fund, the retail sales tax came in at $294,536, which is up $19,571. And year to date, we're up $102,963. And the auto use tax for the sheriff is $68,111, which is up $3,964. And year to date, we are up $22,864. And last, the construction use tax in August was $16,670, which is down $4,771 from August of last year. And year to date, we are up $18,645.
So the numbers continue to look good.
They do.
Thank you so much for that, Sunny. Any comment from anyone else?
Thank you very much.
Oh, that's great.
Okay, so under elected officials reports, I simply would like to remind everyone that Saturday, October the 7th is Apple Day out in Penrose. As always, they have a lot of really great things happening in the community. The day will start with a couple of breakfasts, I believe. I think they still have one at the VFW Hall, and there is also breakfast being available at the fire department. The parade itself will start at 11 o'clock, and then as always, there are many, many activities and events happening not only downtown Penrose there on Broadway, but also in Penrose Park as well. So please come out and join us for that. Gentlemen, do you have anything?
Yeah, I do. I just kind of want to do an update on the recycling events that we've had in the county this year. There was the Council of Governments has a recycling event. The county subsidized some of this funding to make it less expensive for people to recycle their electronics, computer monitors, TVs, microwaves, that type of stuff. There was an event in April in Florence where there was 17,120 pounds collected. There was an event in July 15th on the west end up in Copper Gulch where there was 2,280 pounds collected. And then there was an event this last weekend here in Canyon City where there were 16,440 pounds collected. The majority in all three of those places were TVs. So it's kind of interesting. There's a lot of old TVs out there. That comes to 35,840 pounds of electronics recycled, just under 18 tons. So that's a lot of stuff that is hard to recycle because you can't take it to a landfill. So this event makes it a lot cheaper for people to get rid of those things. There's also word that there will probably be one the week after Christmas because people get a lot of new TVs and different things for Christmas, and we find a lot of TVs dumped in our county ditches. So hopefully there's one the week after Christmas, which will help with that, alleviate some of that problem. So they're really good programs, and thanks to Beth out at the COG for putting these together and putting them on, and it's a great event for the community.
They are great events. So thanks for your part in that, Commissioner McFall, and for helping get the word out. I think that had a lot to do with the great response that we had. So thank you.
I stopped by Saturday and talked to Beth Lentz at the recycling event going on, and they were extremely busy. They had cars lined up clear around that San Juan Bank, and they went through 2 trucks of electronics, and it was just a great event for the community.
I know I got rid of a TV that's been in my yard for about a year this weekend, so that was great too.
So it's a good thing that we held these
It's a good thing.
recycling
It absolutely
events.
is.
All right. Anything else from?
Nope.
All right. Let's move on. I believe we have no citizens here who wish to address the commissioners on a matter not scheduled on today's agenda, but I will ask nevertheless. So, okay. We also have no old business for consideration today, so we'll move right into new business. Our first item is a memorandum of understanding with the Colorado Department of Local Affairs, University of Colorado, Denver, for community development to prepare a design for a search and rescue building. And as promised, we're going to turn to our county manager, Sunny Bryant, for a word on this.
Okay, so the county was approached a few months ago from the search and rescue group, expressing some interest in looking at potentially building a building for them. Right now they're out at the sheriff's department, and they're taking up some space there, which they are quickly outgrowing, and the sheriff's department is also in need for additional outside space. And so it would actually be beneficial and solve 2 problems if we were ever able to move them into a different location. So through that process, we were looking at potential grant funding and some options on how we would be able to accomplish this. And the first thing we were up against is that we really have no idea how much a building like this would cost, and so we have no idea how to go for grant funds without that. So what we're asking for today is it's a memorandum of understanding, and it's teaming up with the Colorado Department of Local Affairs and the University of Colorado, Denver, for the students up there at the university to help us put together a plan. So essentially, they would come up with some drawings and some ideas and concepts, so we would actually then be able to go for grant funds to help pay for this. This total project cost is $4,125, and they're actually requesting that the county pays $2,475 of that, and then the DOLA, or Department of Local Affairs, would pay the remaining amount. And so that's what we're asking for today, is just for the memorandum of understanding to accomplish that.
Okay, thank you. For anyone who may not be familiar with the Fremont County Search and Rescue, they really are a great organization. They do many things. They help the sheriff out in many different ways here in Fremont County. The members of SAR invest so much of their own time and finances into the things that they do. And they donate a lot, and so I think you're right. It would be in the county's best interests overall to see if we can come up with, excuse me, with some help for a new building for them. So, further discussion?
So we'll need a approval for the memorandum of understanding and also for the dollar amount. Is that correct? Both?
Actually, the memorandum of understanding includes the dollar amount, so if you
Includes
approve
the
that,
dollar amount.
correct.
Okay. So, Madam Chair, I make a motion that we approve the memorandum of understanding with the Colorado Department of Local Affairs for this community development design for the search and rescue building.
Second that motion.
All right, it has been moved and seconded to sign this memorandum of understanding with the Colorado Department of Local Affairs and the University of Colorado at Denver for the community development to prepare a design for a search and rescue building. It's a lot of words right there.
Yes, it is.
All right, further discussion? Roll call.
Commissioner Payne?
Aye.
Commissioner McFall?
Aye.
Commissioner Bell?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Up next is the authorization of the chairman's signature on an airport construction agreement with Electrical Excellence Enterprises. And we turn to Sunny once again.
Okay, so a few months ago, we had gone out for bid for a couple of projects out at the airport, and one of those projects was the was awarded to Electrical Excellence Enterprise. So we're doing some runway repairs, and at the same time, we're doing some replacement of some lights out there along the runway. And so the commissioners had awarded the bid to them a couple months ago, so this is actually just the contract following up from that. And I'm looking through here, I'm finding the amount, I apologize.
$123,579.
Thank you.
I just happened to be there. Do we have a timeline or a time frame on when this work will be completed?
So they're actually going to be working on getting started here very soon, and it, I think, will be a very quick project. One of the things that we're looking at, though, is to see if it would be beneficial, instead of going with the lights that are in this contract, to potentially go with LED lighting. And so we're working on those prices right now. So that would be a change order that would come before the board if that's something that we chose to do. But they can at least get all of the infrastructure and stuff started out there before
Okay.
we make that decision.
Thank you, Sunny. Any further questions for Sunny?
No, I don't have any. With that, Madam Chair, I move to authorize the chairman's signature on the airport construction agreement with Electrical Excellence Enterprises.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded to authorize the chairman's signature on the airport construction agreement with Electrical Excellence Enterprises. Further discussion? Roll call.
Commissioner McFall?
Aye.
Commissioner Payne?
Aye.
Commissioner Bell?
Aye.
Motion carries.
And the final item we have under new business today is a 5-year professional services agreement between Fremont County and Armstrong Consultants Incorporated for the Fremont County Airport improvements. And one more time, we turn to Sunny Bryant, our county manager.
Okay, so 5 years ago, we had entered into a professional services agreement with Armstrong Consulting. That agreement is up now, and so we went out for bid this year to see if there were any other parties that would be interested in doing some consulting work for us, and they were the only company that had submitted a bid, and so we are going through the process of entering into another agreement with them. So what we're asking for today is for another 5-year professional services agreement. And then once we get into these projects, they actually do task orders for each project. So at that point, we would be going into a task order with them to actually conduct the work.
I think it's fair to say that even though they were the only bidder on this project, Armstrong has done an excellent job for us in the past, so we have no qualms about giving them the work for the next 5 years.
Absolutely.
Correct?
Yes, they have done a tremendous job for us, and they're definitely a good asset for us to have. So, yeah.
Okay, thank you. Further questions for Sunny?
With that, Madam Chair, I make a motion that we approve the 5-year professional services agreement between Fremont County and Armstrong Consultants Incorporated for the Fremont County Airport improvements.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded to approve a 5-year professional services agreement between Fremont County and Armstrong Consultants, Inc. for the Fremont County Airport improvements. Further discussion? Roll call.
Commissioner Payne?
Aye.
Commissioner McFall?
Aye.
Commissioner Bell?
Aye.
Motion carries.
There being no further business to come before this board, we are adjourned.
Nothing to write about, Carrie.
But thanks for being here.
It's at the recycling place now.
Yeah?
You have to move the toilets and stuff out of the way to get to it.
You know, I wasn't there because I was playing in a benefit golf tournament in Florence, so I had my father-in-law take it. Tim took a picture,
Yeah.
You were out there too?
Yeah.
And the wine.
and actually,
Yeah.
I was looking in that picture Tim sent me to see if my TV was there, and they all looked the same.
Hey, Dwayne.
All them old TVs.
Matt wants to know if you had to move all those toilets out of the way to get to
The toilet's still have flowers in it. The toilet's still have flowers, so you think that's funny? I actually do have toilet flowers. Nanner, nanner, nanner.
You can never have